Missile inbound, 20 minutes to impact. The world holds its breath. Hang on, can we start that again? A House Filled with Dynamite is the new Netflix movie directed by Catherine Bigelow. It shot straight to the top of the charts, and little wonder with a trailer like that. An intercontinental ballistic missile, presumed to be nuclear, is detected launching from somewhere in the South Pacific, heading straight for the United States. Warning, spoilers ahead. What follows is chaos. The US government scrambling over a Zoom call, tracking the ICBM's trajectory and trying to decide what to do when their interceptors fail. With only 20 minutes to impact, the questions start flying. Where will it hit? How many will die? Who's behind it? And what should the response be? It's already a nightmare scenario, but then the situation fractures into an endlessly sprawling series of what-ifs, compounding the deeper questions. How do people act under the most extreme pressure imaginable? What happens to our sense of control when vital information is missing? What is strength or weakness in the face of ignorance when the illusion of security is stripped bare? And just when the missile is about to strike, everything resets. The story restarts from another side of the conference call. And this is where any problems or controversy around this film will centre. The looping structure gives us fresh perspectives, but immediately leaves us wondering if we'll ever find out what happens. And there's definitely some good stuff here. Watching each person balance duty, instinct and protocol is fascinating, and one perspective even gives new meaning to the phrase dropping off the call. But the value of repeating a story like this always depends on whether those new perspectives truly deepen our understanding. So, do those gains offset the frustration of not knowing? Can we be content to love the questions themselves? Let's find out. One of the film's strongest threads is the government's ignorance about who's attacking them. Is it Russia, China, or a rogue state like North Korea? Why just one missile? Why not an all-out strike? Well, the launch wasn't tracked, which suggests either sabotage inside the US or some new enemy technology capable of masking launches entirely. And that uncertainty spawns a web of terrifying possibilities. If one missile got through, then what next? How do you respond without proof? Fire back too quickly and you might start the very war you're trying to avoid. Wait too long and you look weak. Just the act of putting your forces on alert could trigger someone else's panic. Everyone's guessing, everyone's armed, the world is on a knife edge. That ignorance, the high stakes, high pressure, limited time and infinite consequences is what makes the film so compelling. And it's anchored by the grim truth that a $50 billion defence system can still be hit and miss. As one character says, it's like trying to shoot a bullet with another bullet. And, you guessed it, the film never gives us the answer. Maybe the missile strikes, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it hits Lake Michigan instead of Chicago. Maybe it never detonates. Bigelow's message is clear. This isn't about what does happen, but what could happen. The Cold War may be over. We may have forgotten, but we're still living in a world rigged to explode, and it only takes one spark. One bad decision under pressure to set it all off. Visually, it's no blockbuster, and it carries a few bad habits of modern cinema, shaky handheld shots and depressing colour grading, but there's no sweeping CGI destruction, no cities collapsing, just people staring at maps and blips, trying to hold civilization together over a video call. It's lean and tense. The cast is solid across the board, a good mix of established names and rising talent. The only stumble for me is Idris Elba as the president. His character leans too hard on dialogue to spell out his fear and doubt, instead of letting us feel it in silence. It's not bad, just a bit overstated, especially with how restrained the rest of the film is. So, the big question, does the story's provocative premise and looping structure justify never giving us an ending? Maybe. You could argue that's the point, but at times it felt like the setup for an action mystery TV show rather than a self-contained film. After all, we've just lived through decades of J.J. Abrams style mystery box shows where questions often outshine the answers, so maybe House Filled with Dynamite is better unresolved. I can accept the creative choice, but in the end it felt like if you're going to make me watch the same story over and over, you could at least give me an outcome. A film I liked when I thought I was about to love it. Provocative, well acted, conceptually rich, but not the impact I was hoping for. Worth watching, just keep your expectations in check. Confusiasm, out.